You must keep this ordinance at the appointed time year after year. Exodus 13:10. Few churches are practicing Sabbath. Problem today. A lot of people are looking around and no one practicing Sabbath clearly care about their own life than yours. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John each tells us Saturday is Sabbath and Sunday is the first week. Let's start with Matthew. About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, which means, my God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew 27-46. This happened on a Friday. Saturday is Sabbath. After the Sabbath, at dawn on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. Matthew 28-1. Now let's go to Mark 15:33-34. Same thing it said he was on a cross that Friday afternoon. Saturday is Sabbath. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome bought spices so that they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they were on their way to the tomb. Mark 16:1-2. Also said similar as Luke. As well on John. Sunday. Early on the first day of the week while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. John 20-1. So Sabbath is on Saturday, and it's not work, it's a gift.
Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen, will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished.
Colossians 2:16 says, Let no man therefore judge you in respect of the Sabbath days. And Romans 14 shows us that observing certain days is a personal choice. Now we can keep the Sabbath day, and there's nothing wrong with doing so, but it's not commanded for.
That verse a lot of people misunderstood. In this verse, Paul encouraged the believers in Colossae not to let others judge or pressure them over matters of dietary restrictions or observances of specific holy days. The context of this chapter emphasizes freedom in Christ, urging the church to focus on their relationship with Him rather than adhering strictly to the ceremonial or legalistic traditions that some were imposing on them. Paul highlights that in Christ, the requirements of the old law have been fulfilled, and believers now live under grace. Let me explain. Romans 14. In this chapter, Paul encouraged believers to respect one another's differing convictions, particularly on non-essential practices related to diet and holy days. Paul's message encouraged believers to pursue unity and peace, allowing each person to live by their own convictions on secondary matters. He emphasizes that above all, our actions should build up one another in love, not lead to division. The focus is on righteousness and faithfulness to God, rather than on specific practices that may vary among individuals.
And do you really think God would give the Ten Commandments and not tell us about them in the beginning? Why would He create a Sabbath, a day for rest, a day for growing closer to Him, a day that is the best thing that's ever happened to humanity other than Jesus, and not command us to do it? I mean, honestly, think, people.